Hey Janesh, welcome to this podcast episode with Buildify. And how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. Uh, so initially, let's begin with like a short intro about yourself and what you guys are working on at Pharos Network.
So, hi Yash, I'm Janesh. I'm the head of developer relations at Pharos Network, and we are building a high performance layer one blockchain that is focusing on bringing economies of scale on chain. For understanding more on the economies of scale, we'll have a further deep dive into that part in our podcast later on. Talking about our background, like our founders are from Ant Group, one of the largest Asia's tech giant, and they were like the previous CXOs at the Ant Group and digital, and they have been deep into the research area. And since their overall journey, they decided to build a blockchain that focuses on ultra fast performance and can bring RWAs and other things possible on blockchain.
Got it, got it. It seems that like the foundation team has a very good background in the like blue chip companies and stuff. Also, like I'm curious about one more thing. There are like a lot of blockchains launching which are like specific to RWA, specific to AI, or any other use case. So, what kind of use case is like Pharos focusing on right now?
So if I tell you about our use case in general, like we're not targeting any particular sector, any particular area in general at all. It's like a open blockchain, but our main focus, main target is bringing economies of scale on chain. What we mean by economies of scale, we see that if we talk about RWAs, it's a 16 trillion economy. But if we take a look beyond RWAs, we realize that there are a lot of industries and enterprises that still want to get into the Web3 space but doesn't get the right infrastructure to get onboarded. We at Pharos designed the overall architecture and infra in such a way that any kind of enterprise industry can be onboarded on the blockchain space and build their ecosystem and bring their operations on chain. So whenever we are able to build or bring the operations on chain, we are bringing economies of various industries on chain, and that's what we are targeting, like bringing economies of scale on chain, because that's a more than $1 trillion market. And you take it like a supply chain industry, FMCG industry, payment industry, banking sectors, all of these sectors are still unregulated in terms of the blockchain space. And if we are able to bring that operations on chain, it's a something of a new market or a new economy that will open the floodgates for interaction on the net on the blockchain network.
Got it, got it. Uh, Also, like as you know, that TPS, that is transactions per second, is like a very important factor for all the blockchains. So, how does the TPS looks like for Pharos, and can you elaborate more onto that?
Got it. So if I talk about TPS throughput and overall performance, we are targeting around 30 to 50K TPS in the longer run. And how we were able to achieve it and how we're planning to achieve it, it's a long journey. So it's a vision from our founders that they realize that if we fork any existing stack or if we start working on any existing available materials, we will not be able to achieve this kind of a performance, because we can see already there are blockchains in the market right now, and what is their life condition at the moment. So in that case, they went back to their drawing boards and they designed the whole mechanics of the blockchain from scratch. So if I talk about our VM, it's a deterministic virtual machine which tries to do every performance, every task in the parallel architecture. It has a beautiful infra architecture, and it can accommodate WASM as well as EVM as well as many other VMs in it. So when I talk about our VMs, it's pretty much ultra fast and parallel in that case. And that's why we are calling it deterministic virtual machine. And it's fully EVM compatible. It's not going to face any issues like we face in the Polkadot ecosystem when we deal with substrate and EVMs. So that's not the situation there. Similarly, if I talk about our consensus engine, it's a asynchronous BFT consensus. It's a unique consensus mechanism that is a leaderless model. We have seen in Solana that it's based on epoch model and has a leader-based mechanism. Similarly, if we talk about Polkadot, it also has a babe and grandpa mechanism in the consensus level. But if we realize, we see that when we do a leaderless mechanism and do the block processing and block proposition in parallel, we can achieve much more TPS, much higher TPS when we do that. So we designed this and adopted this mechanism called asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance. And if I talk about theoretical achievement and theoretical limitations, we can achieve up to 500K TPS with the consensus right now. So that's the limitation. So we can not just stick or get stuck at 30 to 50K TPS. We can take it beyond 10 times. So in the longer run, it's all of our engineering and optimization, how we optimize the network.
Got it, got it. And that seems like a very good technical advancement at Pharos actually. Also, like while I was reading the docs regarding Pharos network, I saw that you guys talk a lot about parallel processing and special processing networks, that is SPNs. So can you elaborate more onto that, like what these two terminologies are?
Got it. So as I talk about parallel processing, it's like a degree of parallelization 5. So why we call it degree of parallelization 5? Because we do the parallelization at 5 stages or 5 steps. If I talk about our VM engine, our validator engine, our pipelining, our consensus, so all of these constitutes of 5 degree of parallelization. Currently, the blockchains right now are only able to achieve 2 or 3 degrees of parallelization. And that's why we are much more faster in terms of throughput and performance as compared to our some of our counterparts that are only able to deliver under 2 gigagas throughput. It's like 1.5 gigagas throughput. Whereas in our case, it's 2 gigagas throughput. So we are able to produce much more gigagas as in terms of throughput and performance. And if I talk about our SPN networks, this is something that I was really excited about when I was joining the team. It's called spatial processing networks. And it's similar to subnets, but it gives you more autonomy and control in terms of choosing your own consensus engine, choosing your own VM architecture, choosing your own openness or restrictions, how you want to control a network. And it's all going to be powered by the Pharos layer 1 itself. It's like a subnet network, but you can build your own architecture, own infra on it, and you will be secured by the same Pharos network infra. And it gives us much more powerful infra because of our DA layer or data layer. So when I talk about our data layer, we are not relying on any third party like Celestia or others. We built it on our own from scratch, and it's 15.6 times much more faster and efficient as compared to current Ethereum's DA layer. So when we talk about a lot of L2s that are dependent on Ethereum right now, they are relying on a slow data storage of input and output. Imagine that data storage being much more efficient, almost 15.6 times, or you can say almost 16 times much more efficient. How will the economies will scale in such situation? So that's what you get in the SPN network. All your data will be stored on the layer 1, and the SPNs can work independently in the network itself. So it's all useful for people who want to build their own supply chain infra, own payment infra, and everything.
Got it, got it. Also, like one more question, as you mentioned about Pharos' own data availability layer. So I was just curious, like, is it only available to Pharos ecosystem, or like any other protocols, or like, sorry, rollups and all can also use that DA layer to build upon?
So currently it's available on Pharos network itself, and with SPN you can customize it for your TWEs or rollups built on or using the Pharos infra. So with the mainnet launch that is coming in the coming months, we will open the gates for people to play with the infra very well.
Okay, got it, got it. Thanks for the overview, actually. Also, like one more doubt. So, what if there are like different dApps and different SPNs want to work together? So, how does Pharos network makes that possible within the ecosystem?
Got it. So when we talk about different dApps and ecosystems who want to work and even SPNs, it's like a mesh network. And imagine Pharos is in the center of all the mesh networks connected with each other. So it's an inter as well as intra ecosystem or intra network communication where you can communicate within all the other SPNs, as well as you can also communicate with the chains that are beyond Pharos network. Let's say you want to communicate with the OP stack or an OP chain or a BNB chain or any other chain. So you can directly do that within the whole SPN sphere. So all the dApps can easily communicate and collaborate or interact with each other.
Got it, got it. Uh, Also, I saw that you guys recently launched your testnet. So, I was also very interested to know about how the response was from the developer community regarding the testnet.
Got it. As you know, that testnet journey is very important because you get to see how you're performing for your dApps and users. And for that, we are very thankful for our who are very active community, who are already sending us a lot of feedbacks and always on fire to fix the bugs, issues, anything that they're facing with the performance or dApps or anything. So we are always thankful to our inactive community, and it's all with the help of our community managers who are helping us day in and out in handling the overall community so that we get best of the feedbacks, not just from the users, but also from the developers. As a head of developer relations, I work with all the major projects in solving their queries, understanding and how we can optimize the network more and more in that situation and scenario. So we are tirelessly working for a successful mainnet launch so that we can deliver much more better performance and infra for all of our developers and users.
Got it, got it. Also, I would love to know one more thing regarding the ecosystem part. So, like, how are you guys incentivizing the developers or new projects who want to build on Pharos? Like, is there any grant program or any accelerator, anything?
So we have a lot of initiatives going on within the Pharos ecosystem right now. We have a 20 million grant fund, as well as we recently wrapped up an initiative called PIP, which is called Pharos Improvement Proposal.
Okay.
So in that you are able to provide your own innovative ideas from a list of ideas, and you can send your proposals and we do the evaluation. So we have a lot of initiatives coming up as well, which we are closely working on. And we have an internal incubator as well, where we are incubating native projects. So as a new chain, our more focus is onboarding more and more native projects for the ecosystem, because with such a high performance, we are targeting newer ideas to be onboarded within the Pharos ecosystem. So we are encouraging developers and supporting them with not just grants but internal incubation, funding side of the things, like how to raise funds for their projects and how to generate the revenue. We are very much focused towards how our dApps and projects can generate revenue in the longer run.
Got it, got it. And now, like, moving towards the last question of the session. So that would be, how does the future roadmap looks like for Pharos, and what more stuff would you guys be focusing on at Pharos Network in the upcoming years?
Got it. So first of all, when we launch our mainnet, so mainnet is one of the first targets. Before that, we also have coming up a big testnet upgrade, which will optimize the overall performance of our testnet. And right after that, we're planning our mainnet launch. So first, the major testnet upgrade, then our mainnet launch. After that, we're gonna onboard the major RWAs that are waiting to be onboarded. It's like more than 300 million plus of RWAs that are waiting to be onboarded at the launch of our mainnet. After that, it's going to be like an EVM upgrade. We're planning to upgrade the EVM to the next version, as well as we're planning to launch our SPN network so that we can bring more and more partners onboarded. So that's how the timeline looks like for the coming year for now. And this is what we will be focusing on and bringing more and more industrial and enterprises operations on chain. So this is how the timeline will look like for now.
Got it. Also, like before ending this whole session, I'd like to get your feedback or opinion on one more thing. That would be like a lot of chains are launching right now. Many people are bullish on L2s while others are bullish on L1s. So, what do you think about the whole scenario of blockchains going on currently? And what's your overall take on it? Like, what side do you support?
Well, as I see a lot of blockchains in the space, like for me, like I have been in the space for more than 5, 6 years now, and I have seen chains coming up, going down, not just in terms of their user base, but on the basis of their performance as well as token price. I'm not here to discuss much on the token price, but I'm just seeing that the only reason that if you can make a layer one or a layer two successful is not just on the basis of TVL. There are a lot of factors that are involved in the overall success and the longevity of a blockchain network. First is going to be your liquidity. How deep are your overall chains pocket are? Like how much you can supply to your dApps and ecosystem and even users. So that comes the liquidity part. Then how much revenue are you generating? How much new terms are called like RWAs, like how much RWAs are coming up on your chain. So how much depth your chain already has in terms of real world assets. Then it depends how much economies are coming up on your chain. As I told you about enterprises and industries, so how many of the operations, what percentage of operations are you bringing on board it? Then when we talk about infra, we talk about a term called TVS, which is called total value secured, and how much total value secured just from the infra that is sitting on your chain. So that's also very important. And it's the overall ecosystem of dApps that are there on the network and how much sustainable they are. You see, there are many chains who have hundreds of dApps, and you can acquire dApps by giving grants. It's like you give grants, you get the dApps. That's how the usual nominee of the blockchain ecosystem really work. But if you see in the longer run, you need to really invest in projects or founders who can focus on the revenue generation, who can make your ecosystem successful. You talk about some of the successful ecosystems, you take the name of Hyperliquid.
Yeah.
Hyperliquid raised no money from investors, not even a single penny. They bootstrapped everything and they make themselves self-sufficient and their token is performing really well. Their ecosystem is thriving. They started with a trading ecosystem, and now they have expanded it to various DeFi platforms with their own EVM. So that's a very good example to see and observe that how you can make something successful on the basis of deep liquidity and user traction. Always think about how you can provide a better solution for your dApps to build on a better infra. Since day one, I always focused on getting as better infra as possible on the Pharos network so that the developers that are building don't face any problems or issue. And that's what we should be focusing on for developers and users and a thriving economy.
Got it, got it. So thanks a lot, Janesh, for joining us onto this podcast session and sharing so many insights about Pharos and the overall Web3 ecosystem. So thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you, Yesh, for having me.